You do not have to continue to stay in that rut that you're in. You can become unstuck, but it takes work on your part. What's going on, family? It's your man, Jeff Kilgore, back again. You already know how we do it, business and mind all intertwined. And today we're going to talk about the best ways to stop attracting negative energy, which blocks the law of attraction. You ready? Come on, let's talk about it. Now, one of the best ways, we're just going to get right into it. One of the best ways is that we need to stop focusing on what's missing. Now, we all have the tendency to notice and focus on what's missing in a situation, the things we don't have, the money we don't have, the people we don't, everything that's missing in a situation that's messing our lives up and messing things up. We tend to notice but focused on those things. And this is what we have to stop. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to notice these things, because obviously you're going to notice them. Obviously you're going to notice if your bank account is a little light or a lot of light. Obviously you're going to notice if you're feeling lonely and you don't have that relationship you want. I'm not saying you're not going to notice it, but notice and focus are two different things, two completely separate things. Now, if you were driving down the street, you're driving and you're paying attention to the road, the street ahead of you, and this big, giant, huge bird is flying on the side and it flew across and is flying on the side. You are going to notice that bird, right? Through your peripheral vision, at least, you're going to notice that bird, right? But you're not going to focus on that bird while you're driving. You're going to focus on the road. If you take your focus off of the road and start focusing on this bird, obviously, more than likely, you're going to crash. You're not going to take your focus off of the road and put your life in danger to focus on something that is merely a distraction, something that really has no bearing on whether or not you get from point A to point B. This is just a distraction along the way. But the thing that I need to focus on is the road so that I can get from point A to point B. Now, when you focus on the things that's missing in your life, you're essentially looking at the birds and the distractions in your life when you need to focus on the road ahead, the path, the direction that you're going, getting from point A to point B. When we focus on what we don't have in our lives, we get more of what we don't have. You multiply that energy of not having that thing when you focus on what's missing. So if you, for example, a relationship, and if you're focusing on the fact that you don't have, you haven't, met your soulmate yet, you don't have that relationship, you don't have that partner, you don't have that spouse yet, you don't have that yet. When you focus on that aspect of it, you're going to multiply that energy of not having that relationship. Instead, what you would need to do is focus on how good of a partner you're going to be when you do meet your soulmate. How good of a boyfriend you're going to be, a husband, how good of a girlfriend or wife you're going to be to that person when you finally do meet them, when you guys finally hook up, how great you're going to treat that person, how things are going to be, what are the things that y'all going to do, what are the trips that y'all going to take. Think about those things, focus on that, and that way you multiply the energy of that relationship versus multiplying the energy of the lack of a relationship. So yes, you're going to notice that you're feeling lonely, but don't dwell on that. Turn that into a positive by thinking, imagining, visualizing how good you're going to be to that partner, how good that partner is going to be to you, how you guys are going to be perfect for each other. Think about that instead of thinking about what's missing in your life. If you want a beautiful new home, stop focusing on how crappy your little apartment is now. If you're in a little crappy apartment right now, stop focusing on that. Think about all of the good things that are going to be in your beautiful new home. Think about how many square feet that you want this home to be. How's the living room going to be? What type of floors are you going to have? How are you going to arrange the furniture? What's going to be in the kitchen? How's your bathroom going to be set up? All of these things. Imagine the things that you want instead of what's missing, because where attention goes, energy flows. And when you continue to dwell and focus on what you do not have, the things that are missing in your life, then you multiply that energy. You're giving attention to it, so energy goes to it, and you multiply that energy. Your subconscious mind, the universe also cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. All it knows is you're focusing on that, so you must want more of it. You must want more of this loneliness. You must want more of this crappy little apartment, because that's all you're thinking about. That's all you dwelling on. And so you get more of it, and you wonder why things aren't getting better. Again, as I always say, this is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because the poor have a poverty mentality. The rich have a wealth mentality because they think about it. They plan, they strategize. Poor mentality, you're constantly thinking about the lack of what you don't have. I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm struggling here, I'm struggling there. And yes, I know it's hard not to notice and not to see exactly what's going on in your life, but you can't dwell on it. When you get those thoughts, think of the positive aspect of it. If you need to reverse the thought, if you have a bad thought about money, think about what is the opposite of that thought. Man, well, in this case, I have a lack of money. How about more than enough? How would it feel to have more than enough? And get those feelings as many times, as much as you can notice it and become aware of how you're feeling. Reverse that so that you can get more of that. Where attention goes, energy flows. When you focus on the lack of things that you have, when you focus on what's missing in your life, this blocks the law of attraction from doing the positive things in your life, because the law of attraction is always working one way or the other. The problem is people don't like to realize that it also works on the negative end. If you're dwelling and you're thinking about something negative, the law of attraction is feeling like you're asking for more of it, and it gives it to you. So we have to remain positive. We have to remain thinking and acting on the things that we want, so that we stop attracting the negative energies into our life and we start to attract the positive energies in our life. This is what we want to do so that we can change our lives around. Because if what you've been doing up to this point has not been working, then it's time to step out of the norm. It's time to step out of that same little box that you've been in and do something completely different. And right now, it's as simple as changing your thought pattern. You do not have to continue to stay in that rut that you're in. You can become unstuck, but it takes work on your part. You can watch these videos, you can read books, but if you don't act and change the way that you do things, nothing is ever going to change. Let's change this today. Let's do something about it. Change what you're thinking about. Don't let these negative thoughts dwell in your mind anymore. From this day forth, put a stamp on it and say, you know what? I'm not going to let a negative thought dwell in my mind for more than 30 seconds. And even that's long, but give it 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, I'm going to take a few deep breaths and I'm moving on. I'm going to think about the solutions to whatever that problem is. I'm going to think about how I can overcome that feeling, that negative feeling, anger, whatever it is. I'm going to think about how I can overcome that so that I can keep my vibration at a high level, and I can continue to become a vibrational match to those things that I really want, versus being a vibrational match to those things that I don't want because I've been dwelling on them. So I want to be a match to what I do want, and then everything that I need, which will be a complementary component, will come to me. What I mean by complementary component, if you a brand new home, think about this, a brand new home, you want a brand new home. And the first thing you're going to think about after you start looking for homes, you're looking, online, you say, oh, the home that I want, it costs $480,000, right? So the first thing you're thinking is, how can I get $480,000? When the first thing you should be thinking about is how amazing it's going to feel living in that home. How would I do the furniture in that home? Man, how will my car look in that driveway? How many bathrooms does it have? I wonder how it smells upstairs. Is it carpet on the steps? Things like that. Those are the things you should be thinking about. How is it going to feel with me and my family sitting there eating dinner in this brand new house? Think about those things, not the money. Money is a complementary component. And so if you become a vibrational match to this home, then with money being a complementary component, money has to come. If it takes money to get this house, you just focus on that house. The money has to come. This is how the law of attraction works. Quit trying to figure out how you're going to get the money. Just focus on being a vibrational match to the thing that you want, and you can have anything that you want. Did you get any value out of that? I hope you did. And if you did, you know how I say, squeeze that like button. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, especially subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you can get every video that I upload. I'm committed to uploading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this year, so I don't miss a beat. And you don't miss a beat either. And we can keep each other in check, right? If you still rocking with me at this point, you already know I appreciate you. Let's go.